Hey there, Aries. Welcome to your reading for the week of September 2nd. We are going to jump right in here. You have this Soulmates card and this Serendipity card, so some of you could be bumping into a soulmate here if you're looking for love. I'm not exactly ready to say that yet because we have barely any cards on the table. So let's see what comes up, but definitely could be good for love if you want it. The Soulmates card can also just represent kind of like unlocking your heart to something. So again, if you have any ideas or plans or goals or things that you want to accomplish, that Soulmate card could just say, that you are opening up to the possibilities of doing something new or different in work, or maybe you're like doing things that you're more passionate about as well. And so again, take it how it resonates. The Serendipity card is like a lot of luck as well. You can see this lady here is being lifted up by a 4-leaf clover, and so it kind of represents like a lucky break, or it can represent kind of like an encounter with luck, which is what I feel like saying on that Serendipity card. It's almost like you are having an encounter with luck, or you are finding luck doing something. And, again, I feel like this could lift you up. You see there, she's being lifted up by that 4-leaf clover, which is really interesting. Not really a love reading as well. There is a little bit of love here, right? We have like the King of Cups, we have the Three of Swords, which would really say you're going through a healing period or something like that. We'll see what happens when we clarify, but whenever I have a reading like this, I would say that if you do at some point want love in your life, then this would be more kind of like you are being prepared for a soulmate. So it's like maybe this person isn't coming in this week, but, it could be one of those things where you are, healing yourself with the Three of Swords, or you're healing your energy. You have the Seven of Swords, the Fool, and the Eight of Swords. Seven of Swords is a card of tactics, as I always say. And one thing that kind of changes the reading is that you have two sevens right next to each other. So you have Seven of Swords and Seven of Wands. 2 sevens represents internal fears that don't exist. And then you have the Devil right here. So you could be worried about like a toxic situation that isn't really toxic. And, the other thing that I will say is Seven of Swords with the Devil, like outside of love, can represent a delicate situation, like something in your life where you need to tread carefully. And again, this doesn't have to be a bad thing. This could be a good thing. So again, I want you to pay attention to what you're doing this week. There might be something, it kind of gives me the vibes of needing to keep things to yourself, right? It's like sometimes we're working on a project, an idea, and for right now, I would just keep it to yourself, because again, Seven of Swords with the Devil can represent kind of like tiptoeing around something, right? Not revealing something, and it's not like a bad thing. You're just protecting whatever you're working on or whatever you're doing. You have the Fool. The Fool would, of course, represent a new beginning. A lot of Fool energy this week, a lot of, new beginning energy as well. Sometimes I consider the Nine of Pentacles also to be a new beginning, and you have the Nine of Pentacles here. So there definitely could be like a positive new beginning, something that you're looking to do. And again, if you're having a new beginning, I would definitely kind of like keep it to yourself, right? Even, I totally ignored this part of it, is that you have the Seven of Wands. And the Seven of Wands is like drawing a line in the sand, putting up boundaries or defending something, right? And so, like I said, if you're starting something new, it might be a good time to just keep something to yourself. It's like the Fool, he like needs to take that leap of faith. And, maybe in this situation, if you're thinking about starting something new, you might have people that try to get you to like not take the leap of faith, that try to get you to stay, over here, wherever that is. And so I kind of feel this is saying like keep something to yourself until you take the leap, right? You have the Eight of Swords. I kind of feel like you are breaking a trance a little bit going this way. So if something has kept you stuck, or, it's kind of giving me like a little bit of awakening vibes, or like you suddenly kind of like wake up to something. For some of you, I feel like you've had enough of something as well. Definitely could be like a connection. If you've been with a person and it's just not working out, you could just be kind of like having the awakening that you need to walk away from it. And, again, I get that. I get a lot of stuff already in this first row. Let's see. With the Seven of Swords, you have the Eight of Swords. Yeah, it's like something has kept you stuck, and you could just be tiptoeing away with the Seven of Swords, or you could just be walking away from something. This isn't going to make sense for all of you, but for some of you, I kind of feel like you're surprising a person. It's like maybe someone thought that they had much more control over you than you think, or they think. I'm not sure which direction, but again, you could be kind of like walking away from something that's been keeping you stuck. With the Fool, you have the Hierophant. We have the Hierophant twice in your reading. And the Hierophant is making this symbol with his hands that represents a blessing. Usually with the Hierophant, we kind of have to like go through something to get the blessing. Like these two people in front of him are initiates, and he is initiating them into, the next level. He has 3 levels to his crown. They represent initiation, apprenticeship, and mastery. So it's like you are being initiated into the next level of your life, is what I feel, especially if you take this leap of faith. With the 8 of Swords, you have the King of Wands. I'm pretty sure in your last row, you also, in your last reading, you also showed up as the King of Wands, which is your card. It is Aries. And whenever you show up as yourself, it really puts you in a position of power and strength. This reading is, I wouldn't say it's boring, but it's kind of like one note, I feel, because we go King of Wands to the Emperor, and it's really saying, the reading itself is really saying to me that you are like at those final moments of removing yourself from a situation or walking away from something. And by doing that, it's like you're getting to the next level. So definitely, kind of like a next level reading for sure. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this Freedom card. You also have this Revisit card. We are past the retrograde this week, but, again, sometimes after the retrograde, we can just go back over the things that we've learned or, things that we've experienced. And that could be where the freedom is coming from, is where you revisit something and you realize you can rise above it. You have the Serendipity card. She is being lifted up. It's, everything about this reading is kind of saying that you're either leveling up or you're taking something to the next level. You even have the 10 of Pentacles in this row. So, again, there's like a lot of good energy just going on here. You have the 7 of Wands, the Emperor, and the 3 of Swords. 7 of Wands would represent you protecting yourself from something. He is defending his position at the top of this hill, and I always look at this card as, boundaries, just like the 9 of Wands. The difference is like the 9 of Wands, he is actively defending himself. Like maybe he has to use that wand that he's carrying to hit people off or to get rid of something. The 7 of Wands, he is more drawing a line in the sand. He is more saying, this is what I'm willing to accept in my reality, and everything below this point is not welcome in my life. So I really do feel you could be kind of very bold and confident. I mean, you have the King of Wands and the Emperor showing up here, so it's like you're standing up for yourself more with the 7 of Wands. You have the Emperor. Again, whenever you show up as a major arcana version of yourself, it definitely puts you in a position of power and strength for the week. So you're coming up in a very strong position. The Emperor also has this Ankh over here, and that card says Revisit. The Ankh is a symbol of rebirth. So a lot of you, I don't think most people think of the Emperor as representing rebirth, but he can rebirth things in his life. And so this retrograde, maybe you revisited some things and that you are going to be rebirthing in your life. That does not mean like a relationship. It could be anything. For most of you, I think that it's probably work, because we have 7 of Wands, 10 of Pentacles to the 9 of Pentacles. This right here would be you committing to some sort of skill or, something that can make you very successful. 9 of Pentacles can represent having a skill. The 10 of Pentacles is your legacy. So it's almost like you are committing to your legacy, or you are wanting to commit to create a legacy here on Earth, which is good. You have the 3 of Swords. Again, I just get healing on this card. 3 of Swords really, I know a lot of people read it as a breakup and things like that, but those swords are in your own heart. And so the 3 of Swords is about removing those swords from your own heart. It is about kind of healing yourself and forgiving a situation, or forgiving yourself for putting yourself in a situation, right? And so the 3 of Swords says we don't actually have to forgive anyone. All we have to do is kind of forgive the situation, and that is what removes those swords from your own heart. So a lot of you, I feel, are just kind of, maybe you are revisiting something that was heartbreaking. Doesn't even have to be love, right? It could be maybe you got fired, or maybe you quit something that you didn't want to quit, or whatever. And I feel like that 3 of Swords is saying you're kind of like healing. Can't make this up. With the 7 of Wands, you have the 9 of Wands. It's funny that I talked about both. So again, embracing both is a good idea. Now, here's the thing. Is when I get the 7 of Wands and the 9 of Wands in a reading, to me, it kind of changes the reading a little bit. The 7 of Wands is a card of like persistence, and the 9 of Wands is a card of perseverance. You have to be persistent to be perseverant in the first place. But having the both together, I look at as a very good thing, because it says you are being persistent and you are being perseverant. It's like you are really focused on accomplishing this right here, which is great. And this card says freedom, and the 9 of Pentacles would be freedom. With the Emperor, you have the 2 of Wands. 2 of Wands is simply taking the lead, especially with the Emperor. The Emperor is like a leader. He definitely would take the lead. pretty much in all areas of his life. So I feel that you are, just taking the lead in your life in general. With the Three of Swords, you have the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, could be a new person. Again, if you are attracting a new person or if you want new love, could be an Earth sign, could be any sign, general reading. But, Earth definitely stands out to me in this reading so far. What I would say here is that this could be starting slow or you could be taking your time. I don't remember exactly what I said at the beginning of the reading, but it's almost like I know what I was saying. It's almost like you are being prepared for a person. So, again, I would prepare. I would, make sure to heal, right? It's like, I look at tarot as just loose guidance at best, like advice in energy that you can use to your benefit, right? Can't do anything for you. So knowing that there could be like a soulmate coming in for you in the future, I would make sure that you're like practicing self-care. I would make sure that you are healing your heart so you don't enter into something with a broken heart, right? And all that other good stuff. And that's what I would do with the Page of Pentacles. Looks to me like there's a new person. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this crescent moon. It says, as a moon grows, so can your wealth, health, and happiness. Stay positive. 10 of Pentacles, right? You have this web of creation. It says, be aware of what you are weaving in your life to create better experiences. Yes, so Devil, I would definitely get rid of the toxic habits. And you have the 10 of Pentacles. I would double down on the good stuff, as I always say. And that's what I would do here. The spider imagery, spiders are all about your process, like the process you follow. A spider has to weave a web to create, to catch its food. And so I feel for a lot of you, like having a process could be life-changing for you. And, again, I would definitely follow it. I would definitely come up with some sort of process or something. I'm a big fan of having a daily routine, right? And I think, there's a lot of, one thing I will stress is there's a lot of daily routines out there that like work. But if you're like me, if you have major ADHD like I do, it's like hard to stick to a routine, right? So I created a routine for myself that I can follow. And, most mornings, I wake up super early. I'm an early bird, right? I wake up at like 4:30 and I get straight to work. And, my routine is pretty simple. It's like I watch one video every single day about YouTube. I implement it in this channel. I always talk about this. Then I do my writing. So I write every single morning because I can. Then I do these 4 videos next. And every single day I do 4 videos. And then after that, it's like free time. But, pretty much by 9 o'clock at the latest, I am done with like a full day's work. And, so developing a routine has been very helpful for me because, by the time I get to 9 o'clock, I'm pretty much done with my day if I want to be. Of course, I'm a workaholic, so I keep going. But, having a routine has made things so much easier. I used to just like do things whenever. And, it's like the thing with like putting off work is you just don't want to do it if you put it off. So again, having a routine, super helpful, right? You have the Devil, the 10 of Pentacles, and the King of Cups. This could just be a Capricorn or a person with a lot of Capricorn in their chart, or like a Capricorn rising or something like that is popping into my head. So it might be a Capricorn rising that you're attracting into your life. So it could just be a Capricorn. One thing I will say is we have Mars going retrograde at the end of the year. Personally, I think Mars retrograde years are, a good thing to do during Mars retrograde, even though we're not there yet. Start now. I always say, like, you can get ahead of the astrology, and if you get ahead of the astrology, you are winning. So what I would say is, like, any bad habits that you want to get rid of, anything that's slowing you down, I would get rid of, especially Mars retrograde in Leo. Again, my focus personally is things that slow me down, right? I'm looking at the things that are creating friction, and I'm getting rid of those things. So again, that's what I would do with the Devil, is get rid of anything that's slowing you down. You have the 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles is everything you want and desire in your life. The 10 Pentacles form the tree of life on the card. And so I feel for a lot of you, you have a lot of desires. Like, there are things that you want in your life. Some people say that, and kind of what's popping into my head is that some readers say that those 10 Pentacles are kind of raining down on these people on the card, which is kind of true. It kind of does look like those pentacles are kind of raining down on this person or these people. So again, a lot of you could be very focused on, creating wealth or doing things to create wealth. And yeah, looks really good. You have the King of Cups. Again, I would say that, since like 2021 or 2022, I can't remember which year it was, but, since then, the past couple years, basically, the King of Cups has come up for a lot of people whenever love shows up. And I would just say that I think people are more maybe attracted to a King of Cups type person. When you think about it, we're in a time of chaos right now. There's like a lot of weird stuff going on, and it's just going to get weirder. And the King of Cups is sitting in these choppy waters, but he is perfectly fine. He has explored his emotions to a very deep degree, to a very deep level, and he understands how to control his own reality. He also understands that his emotions control his reality. He doesn't allow external things to control him. So it kind of makes sense to me that maybe people are just more attracted to a person that isn't affected by external circumstances. It's like, obviously, if we're entering into a time of chaos, and if you have a person that's like crying and screaming about every little thing that's going on, that's going to be a problem. So again, I think that I just think that this like archetype of a person, let's put it that way, I don't think it has to be a water sign. I think it could be any sign that you're attracting. I just think the archetype is a person who is like emotionally stable. With the devil, you have the Two of Pentacles. Definitely, Two of Pentacles is like having a choice, and it's also spinning plates. Again, if you're doing too much in your life, then you're getting nothing done. So the Two of Pentacles is saying, like, focus on what's important and get those important things done. With the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Devil. I would say if you have any bad habits, the bad habits could slow you down. Like, I quit drinking 2 years ago now, and, it's like I was never a big drinker in the first place, but I didn't realize, like, how much it was affecting me when I drank. Like, how much it would affect my next day, how much it would affect, like, what I was doing and all this other stuff. So, again, I'm not saying you have to quit drinking, but, it could be whatever you feel like is slowing you down. It probably is, right? It's probably affecting your Ten of Pentacles. With the King of Cups, you have the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles is about balance. And again, I do feel if you're attracting love or a person, you are attracting like a very balanced person. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have the Dark Moon. It says, clear your energies. Yeah, definitely a healing reading. Three of Swords, the Devil. The Devil doesn't have to be bad. It can just say you're looking at your bad habits and you're eliminating those bad habits. So it says, clear your energy. You have this Cold Moon. It says, face your fears. Now, this is coming up in the good stuff. And I always say that everything we want is on the other side of something we've never done before. Basically, everything we want is kind of like guarded by a fear, right? And so I think a lot of you, but it's coming up in the good stuff. So it looks to me like you are facing some sort of fear. You have the Hierophant. I feel with the Hierophant, he is more talking about kind of getting to the next level or taking something in your life to the next level. So you could be making a deeper commitment to your work or, to your health or to your habits. And, whatever that is probably going to be a good thing. The Hierophant is blessing these people in front of him. So we always get blessings, from making the changes that show up in a reading with the Hierophant. You have the Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords is a never-ending nightmare. Nine of Swords, the story of the Nine of Swords is that he is too comfortable. He is uncomfortable, but he has this blanket right here. It's a comfort blanket. And so he's like uncomfortable, but he's not uncomfortable enough to make a change. So the good news is, this is coming up in the good stuff. So I feel that you could be getting out of a cycle or ending a cycle that it's like uncomfortable, but also you haven't been uncomfortable enough to make a change. But maybe you're making, when it comes up in the good stuff, I feel like you're not letting something turn into a tower, right? Like, the universe, for sure, if we stay in something that isn't working, whether it's a job, a business, a career, a love life, whatever, eventually the universe will wake us up with a tower moment. So I think for a lot of you, this is you recognizing that something in your life isn't working, and so you're making the change, which is going to hopefully lead to the Ten of Pentacles. You have the Nine of Pentacles. It's kind of interesting that, I feel with the Nine of Pentacles that you are realizing that you are the only person that can, really make things happen in your life. So I really just see this as like more self-reliance, if that makes sense. Like, in my head, intuitively, I feel that this is saying that Aries, which is, you are a very self-reliant sign, but, again, I feel like you really are taking responsibility, or you really are being very self-reliant at this time, and you're just making things happen. So, I feel pretty good about this. She is also about your skills, so I think you're using your skills appropriately. With the Hierophant, you have the Six of Wands being lifted up, right? He is being celebrated. He's sitting on his high horse. He's being lifted up. He is taking things to the next level in a lot of ways. So I think this is definitely like a victory for you. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Strength card. Again, you could be seeing the strength that you've gained from all the cycles that you've been through. Also, Leo, again, we have Mars retrograde in Leo at the end of the year. It definitely popped into my head on that Devil that you, Aries, should be focusing on the things that are slowing you down. And so I would definitely pay attention to that. The Strength card is also all about facing your fears. With the Nine of Pentacles, you have the Nine of Swords. So, again, these two cards obviously are connected. It's kind of similar to this, or this right here. I feel like getting rid of any bad habits will really attract you or get you to your Ten of Pentacles faster. I think the Ten of Pentacles is a little bit over exaggerated sometimes. It's a good card, but Ten of Pentacles is something that we work on forever. So, again, take it how it resonates. I don't know what I was going to say there. You have this flirtation card. Yeah, like I said, I think someone's trying to flirt with you. This looks like the very beginnings of something. So, like, take your time. Flirting is fine. Talking is fine. See how things go. Next, you have this discrimination card. This says that you have learned the lessons of being able to tell like what's right for you and what's wrong for you. I also think that with the Nine of Swords and the Devil, you've probably been through some toxic cycles, so now you know what it looks like. And this just says avoid it in the future. Don't stay stuck in, or if you recognize something toxic, leave right away. You have this fulfillment card. We see a lot of fulfillment in this reading, so I definitely feel that there's fulfillment coming in for you. You have this choice card, Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles can definitely be a choice. The choice card in this deck, this is the Oracle of the Radiant Sun, by the way. And the choice in this deck basically says, like, there's something stuck right here. Like, these 2 feet or legs, whatever you want to call them, are stuck in that board. And so it says that something is, like, maybe keeping you stuck or slowing you down. And I feel this reading is really talking about, creating more speed in your life, which also makes sense. And finally, you have this fortune card. Yes, very fortunate reading. It's like you're changing your fortunes in some ways. So really good reading. I think there's like deep work going on in your life right now, Aries, but looks really good. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your week.